a seat at the table. I'm your host, Tigner Rand, and I have two special guests who's joining me today. First off, we have Dr. Cynthia Warrick. She is the 7th president of Stillman College, which is a liberal arts college, a HBCU college in West Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Prior to taking the helm at Stillman College, she served as interim president of several other historically Black colleges, South Carolina State University, as well as Grambling State University. And prior to that, she served as a senior fellow at the Thurgood Marshall Fund and also president of the Society for Diversity in Biomedical Sciences, both based in Houston, Texas. In recognition of Women's History Month, Dr. Cynthia Warrick exemplifies a strong woman in leadership. She is truly a sister with superpowers. Also joining me is the head coach of the Stillman Tigers, Coach John Teasley. This is his first season as the head coach, but he's also overall has had 4 years as a coach with the team, with over 21 years experience coaching throughout various positions throughout the state of Alabama. This is not, they're in a big run. We're getting ready to kick off a big tournament, the final 16 games of the 83rd annual Men's National Basketball Championship, which is a part of the NAIA conference, which is being held March the 18th to the 23rd at the Municipal Auditorium in Kansas City, Missouri. Welcome, Dr. Warrick and Coach Teasley. How are you both doing today?
Great.
Oh, uh-oh.
I think he's frozen up.
Frozen a little, yeah.
Hopefully he'll come back.
He'll come, there he is. How you doing, Coach?
What happened, y'all? I'm good.
Well,
Can you hear me?
That's typically a signal that I'm sure everyone at the hotel is trying to get on the internet at the same time you are right now.
Can you hear me now?
A little bit, yes.
Barely, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is that better?
That's
Yes.
better right there. Yeah.
All right.
How you doing this evening, Coach?
I'm good, sir. I'm very good. Thank you.
That's outstanding. So I know both of you all are very excited about this this tournament that's transpiring and all the great success that the team has done this year. Correct me if I'm wrong, you guys had a stellar season with 17-3, with
That's
7
correct.
wins and 1 loss at home and 7 away and 3 that in a neutral zone. Is that right?
That's correct. Yes, sir.
That's outstanding. So I'm gonna start with you, Coach.
All right.
It had to be leadership, I'd have to say, plays a big integral part of you being able to get this team this year to the championship, as well as the prior years that they made it at least to certain levels. So tell me a little bit about your coaching and leadership skills with the men.
Well, we just love on them, and one of the things that we never ask them to do anything that we wouldn't do, and we just try to be a part of their life. I learned that from the last coach I worked with, just being.
Oh no.
And basically just them know that we have them and that's how we're being so successful when it comes to leadership. You know, we lead by example. That's one of the things that and I try to get our assistant coaches to understand is that everyone, you can lead one or two ways. You can lead in the right direction or the wrong direction. And we always try to lead our guys in what we think is the right direction, and it's always paid off for us.
Outstanding. Dr. Warrick, now you are at the helm of the college of Stillman College in Tuscaloosa. So that is a daunting task. You're over a lot of people. So tell me a little bit about your leadership skills and how do you vision, moving the school forward, in all aspects, be it sports, education, academics, everything?
Well, I think it's all about a team. Um, I have a great team and we collaborate. And one thing I tell them all the time is to over communicate and over collaborate, because it really is all about communication, keeping everybody on the same page, and then working together as a team, everybody trying to meet our objectives to be the best we can be.
Outstanding. So let's talk about how is the teamwork how much do you interact with Coach Teasley, Dr. Warrick?
Well, this year I didn't have a lot of interaction because of COVID. I really hadn't been to any games in person because of the virus. But now that I've had both of my vaccinations, I'm going to the game tomorrow. So that'll be my first game in person. I've watched them live stream. In fact, that was one of the things I made sure that all of our games would be live streamed because of COVID. So
That's right.
you would be able to see them and support them that way. And then we also got the fans in the seats for our homecoming games. And I think I was hoping that's going to show them that we're really out there pulling for them.
Mhm.
Outstanding. You just mentioned COVID. So I know last year had to be a very trying time for both the school as well as the athletic program. So how did both of you all deal with that, especially when it hit this time last year, which would have been the finals last year, but then graduation, and then you started a whole new academic year? What are some of the precautions from the academic side, Dr. Warrick, that you were able to do to adhere that the students were safe, and likewise for the team, Coach?
Yeah. Well, yeah, it hit this time last year during spring break, and we extended spring break a week to give the faculty a chance to be able to get their courses converted to fully online. We had already had the dorms converted to single rooms, so that wasn't an issue. But we had to really get everybody online fully, and we were already halfway there because we teach our summer school fully online anyway.
Okay.
So that just, those faculty who normally don't teach online were the ones who kind of had to pivot. And then we had a lot of students that didn't have the technology. They were trying to access their classes using their phones. So we had to order technology to get all the students Chromebooks and laptops so they could finish out the semester. So we were pretty flexible. We delayed graduation to September and really encouraged all of our seniors to go to summer school so they could finish and participate in the ceremony in September. And, I think I put together a public health task force. And I think there was a lot of fear, especially about basketball in the athletic program. And I kind of had to lay my, be the strong hand and said, oh no, we're playing basketball. And I said, they wanted to cancel the junior JV team. I said, no, they got to play too. These young student athletes, they come to school for the academics, but they also want to play the sport. And they had given up so much this year because of COVID. We couldn't take the game away from them. So I said, no, we're going to play. And then our conference decided that we would delay the start of our conference to January. So we started our conference started January 8th. And, and we've been rolling ever since. Our student athletes, when they came back Christmas, we had them all tested December 27th. They came back to campus December 26th. We had them all tested. Everybody was negative, which was amazing, depending because they were out for Christmas at home. And, you know, since Thanksgiving, they had been out since Thanksgiving. So we were like, wow, you know, nobody tested positive. And ever since then, none of the student athletes have come back positive, and we test them every week. So we were real pleased with how they took to the discipline to really not do things that would cause them to get exposed to the virus, and you know, so they could have this record-breaking season.
Outstanding, Coach.
Yeah, no, everything she said is right on the money. I mean, you know, I worked all summer to try to figure out how we could keep them safe when they came back to school, and you know, because we were going to start in the fall like normal, and you know, we did precautions in the weight room, make sure we had sanitizers and things to wash your hands with, and wipe down weight benches every morning. We work out every morning, and we did all those kind of precautions. We put our groups, we made them groups of 6. So we had 18 at the time, you know, walk-ons included, and we put them in different groups. So we would work them in different groups, so we wouldn't put everybody together, and we had sessions, short sessions when everybody did come together. But our main focus was just to let them understand what COVID was, how it spread, and how we can protect ourselves from it, and without us being able to have to shut down the hard work that we put in to be able to play. And like Dr. You know, young people have lost so much since the COVID hit, and they've been, you know, it's hard to take away something that we could probably put together and make it happen for them. And Stillman did a good job when, you know, we didn't, like you said, we didn't pick up a basketball till the 27th of December. So I think it really got us an opportunity to get really good at what we need to do to help these young people stay healthy. And you know, me, you know, I got a family back at home. You know, we've sacrificed all the people at Stillman sacrificed to make sure that we get this done, because the NCAA done a research, I forget where I saw it at, but talked about the mental aspect of how it affects young people not being able to socialize and things like that. And they were really dealing with depression and things that they normally, young people don't have to deal with. And just being able to help those young people through that, you know, you know, I've always taught being a blessing is a blessing. And when you really can be able to help somebody, it really helped me in the process of, I grew more as a person, being able to help these young people get through this. And they helped me get through it by me helping them. And it's really been tough. I mean, and for all the things they sacrificed, the time out of the weight room, no off-season workouts, and to be successful on top of that, it just what kind of group we got. And no matter what happens tomorrow, this group has accomplished more just by doing that. I'll never forget this group as long as I coach, because since like you said, I've been coaching for over 20 years, and this group is really, really special just because they did these things. And you know, the family, like she said, Stillman family, we took care of what we had to do, and sometimes we had to sacrifice. Sometimes we didn't understand what was going on, but with all of us working together, we figured it out. And that's why we're sitting here today playing in the NAIA. You know, like you said, this time last year, there was no play. And a year later, we've come so far, and now we're playing. So I'm excited.
That's awesome. So you mean to tell me that really since Thanksgiving, which is typically the time you start doing some training, that the team did no physical workout or any training until January, December 27th?
We had them broke out, and we started, we shut it down in October. Of October, because we didn't want anything to happen. And we were waiting on our conference to make a decision when we're going to play these. And as a department, our AD, you know, we said, you know, I really want us to maybe play no more than the limit, you know, just to, and we agreed. And I think that's why we were here, because we shut down and we got good at what we needed. But yeah, those guys didn't pick a ball up as a group to the 27th.
Wow.
And we played on the 5th of January, so we only really had just about 8 or 9 days to prepare for a college basketball game.
That's
they had
impressive.
a lot to get in a little bit of time, but they did it. And you know, we're still growing, and I think we're playing our best basketball right now.
That's impressive. So just to kind of give everyone a kind of a view of the team, how many are return players who were playing last year?
We have 7.
Okay.
7. We started with 18. We're down to 12 right now. We had 7 return. So
wow.
yeah. So and everybody, the cool thing is everybody gets to come back another year if they decide to. So
wow.
Right. So that we might see this group for a while.
So based upon the situation of being with COVID, lack of practice, but you said that you saw the team do a lot of great things in a short period of time. Do you think it made them closer than any other team prior to COVID?
Yeah, there's no doubt, because the discipline to stay, like they all housed together. Like when they have these pods, each one of them's got, but they kind of live together. But we knew that we were if we were gonna stay healthy, we couldn't do the things that we normally did out and about eating, doing these things. So they really sacrificed just to be able to play, and knock on wood, we haven't had any positive tests since we've come back, and that's those guys, is the discipline that for them not to, and it's so hard as a young person. I mean, it's harder now than it was when I was a young person. I'm still young, but I ain't as young as they are. But there's so much temptation out there, but these guys understand what we're trying to do, and that's what makes them so special.
Wow.
So they're definitely closer together.
That's wonderful. So you're part of the NAIA conference. Yeah. It's about how many schools that participate that's part of the NAIA? About 250 schools?
I think so now. What it was, they had us broke up in 2 divisions, and now we're both just one big division. So I think it's around 250. I don't know the exact number though.
I understand.
But it changes. Yeah, I mean, you have new members coming in all the time.
And that'll be equivalent to what? Division 2?
Yes, sir.
Okay. In comparison to the NCAA, what are there any differences of the conferences, or are they about the same? Or
for me, I've coached in NCAA Division II and the NAIA. It's really it's a lot of more private schools in and I think is NCAA. I'm for definite competition level. We got some of the best, players. I've been around in the NAIA. Like the level equal to the NCAA Division II.
We're having a little technical difficulty, Coach. Yeah, I don't know if you can hear me or not.
Well, I didn't know that historically, a lot of the current Division I HBCUs were in the NAIA. And I was looking at the history. And I was looking at the history and saw that the last HBCU to win the NAIA National Championship was Texas Southern, and now they're in the SWAC. They're in the SWAC NCAA, but they also won their conference, so they're playing tomorrow too in the first round of the NCAA tournament. But I was interim president at Grambling, and you were asking about the quality of people playing.
Yes. And
I was talking to some Grambling alums yesterday, and they were sharing with me that the year that Grambling won the NAIA national tournament Willis Reed played in that team. That was in the 60s.
That was in the 60s.
So, yes. And so I think, just like the NCAA, it just depends on the student athlete and what they put into their sport, because we've had some players play in that recently in the European League. I know that we had one player from 2 years ago went to play in Spain.
Wow.
And
Stillman?
yeah.
That's awesome.
But most of, a lot of our students, and I'm really proud of them, because they're going on to grad school, and some of them have become coaches, some of them are teachers, some of them are business people. So I think it just depends on what the student wants to do. It's so difficult today, and I think young people know you're not going to get into the NBA very easily. Not even from the NCAA. It's not an easy thing to do, and so they're looking at, this is a time in their life where they're growing up, and they've got stories to tell their kids and grandkids about when they play basketball in college.
Right.
And, it's the same story that if you're in the NCAA or NAIA. I played basketball in college. We went to the championship. Here's my ring. Here's my trophy. It's the same thing. And so, and I think after that, you decide, what are you going to do with your life? And that's where the academics come into play. We give them what they need for the next level. They're going to graduate. Our student athletes graduate, and then they go on to work, or they go on to grad school and do what they want to do. That's
right. You have to still give some accolades to both the faculty staff, the college from academia, as well as the coaches, because like Coach said earlier, young people today have more options. They have a lot of things that could tempt them, be it good or bad. You have social media. You have all the different things that we didn't have when we were in college. So I have to say, based upon the story you just gave, examples you just gave, is that a lot of it is attributed to what you all are teaching and instilling in the classrooms and out on the court, on the football fields, that, hey, this is sports, we can do this, but then there are other things you need to accomplish after graduation.
Yeah. I mean, people ask me all the time. They ask me all the time, like, what kind of team you're going to have, and I said, I'll let you know in 20 years. So when they're out there, what if we did a good job or not? When they become husbands or fathers or employees or people in the community. So really, I feel good about the job that we're doing, because like she said, there's so many athletes that come through our program that are coaches or teachers or in the business. I mean, we got, people working in administration and other colleges. It's great to be a part of.
It is. Now, Dr. Warrick, you touched on it a little bit. I see you did a little research there for HBCUs that quite a few HBCUs have won the NAIA basketball championship over the years. Mm-hmm. I think looking at the record here, Tennessee State has won it probably the most out of most HBCU colleges. 1953, 54, and 55. That's a three-peat. Not too many schools can do that.
Right.
Grambling, 61, Prairie View A&M in 62, Central State in 68, Kentucky State in 1970. Well, Kentucky State did it 3 years straight, 70, 71, and 72, and Coppin State in 76. So Stillman, it could potentially make history also.
We hope so.
How close? How do you feel about the team, Coach? You think that they can pull this off?
I think this team can accomplish anything right now. They're playing some great basketball, but at this level right now, like we all understand that everybody is good, and we have to do a good job on our own to make sure we of our jobs so we can be successful and being in this arena like when they walked in this morning, they understand the magnitude of the game, and I think this team's mature enough to grasp it and do what it needs to do. So I feel good about it. I always do. Like I told them when we got on the bus, I said, you know, every time I get on this bus, I always got a good feeling. I ain't never had a bad feeling with this group when I get on the bus to travel to play. So, you know, when they run out, they're going to run out to win. They're not going to run out for no other reason. I promise you.
That's awesome. Who will you be facing tomorrow?
We are playing St. Francis, University of St. Francis from Indiana.
Okay.
They're a very good basketball team. They played 33 games. So
Wow.
they played a lot of basketball this year.
That's a lot. And this bracket that you're playing starting tomorrow, this is what the final 16?
Yeah, the final 16 for the NAIA, yeah. So we're in round 3.
So that means the finals will be played by when? Over the weekend, or?
We'll play our game. Then the winners of this round will have a day off. Then they'll play again Saturday.
Okay.
And then that's the Elite 8 or the Final 8. And then on Monday, they'll have another day off on Sunday. They'll play Monday, the Final 4, and the championship on.
Okay.
So it'll all be over by Tuesday.
So this time next week, we'll know who's holding it, who reigned as a champion.
Yes, sir.
That's outstanding. Who are some of the players we need to watch out for on your team? Who are some of your standout players?
Well, we do have a couple guys that are standing out right now, but really this whole team is very special. Everybody does a lot of stuff to help us win. But right now we got our leading scorer is Trey Petty. He's averaging 18 points a game. Our point guard Devin Merriweather, he's averaging 16 points a game. I think he's ranked 13th in the country in assists. We got one of the best shooters in college basketball right now with Ladarius Carter. He's almost 50% shooting the basketball.
Wow.
And he's really going to come up big for us. He had a great conference tournament too. He had probably one of the best conference tournaments I've ever seen a player have. He hit 7 threes his first game. I think he hit like 15 for the whole tournament. So he really had a good tournament, and we're hoping that keeps going, But there's so many players on this team, like Virgil Fields. He does so many things for you to help those have the success they're having, and it's really a special group.
Wow, that's awesome. How's the defense? Defense wins games. How are they on the boards? Defense just as balanced as the offense?
The defense is what like we give them. We call it structured freedom is what we call it. We give you a little bit of structure and a whole lot of freedom on offense, but you better give us everything that we ask you to do on defense.
I like that.
If you do that for us, we let you play offense, and they kind of love that, So, but yeah, we're pretty good on. I think we're averaging like 39 rebounds a game.
Wow.
But this group can guard. That's what we hold. That's what we hang our hat on is being able to guard.
That's good. Yeah, that's truly the key. That's one thing that, and I'm glad you were able to, instill that, because you're envisioning you have young men coming from all parts of the country to a whole new area, starting over at a college, but then there's not one major eye on this team, but I want you all to be cohesive to work together. But if you do this, you can have freedom on the offense if you do what I will ask for defense.
Yes, it's worked out for me. That's the way I've always taught basketball, and it's always worked for me, So my daddy already told me. He said, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So that's what we're gonna keep doing
it. He's absolutely correct, and I typically talk to a lot of young men always want to be the high scorer. They want to, emulate the Jordans and the Kobes and the LeBrons, but you're missing a key part. And you got to be a full, well-rounded player. Can you play defense?
Yeah, my coaches, they ask me all the time. They're like, "What are we for? What do we need? What are we looking for?" I say, "Look, they got to be able to do 3 things. They got to be able to dribble, pass, and shoot, and they got to be able to play defense. They do those 3 things on offense. And if they can slide their feet, then they recruitable on the athletic side. And, you know, with GPAs and all that stuff too, you know, but, you know, they want to know what kind of guy we're looking for that can play basketball. And those are the things. You got to be able to do those kind of things, or you won't be able to survive at Stillman, because everybody on this team can do those things and do them well.
That's outstanding. Well, Dr. Warrick, I know you're excited and proud of the team. So you're ready for tomorrow's game?
Yeah, I'm ready. I've got my Stillman gear and I'm ready to go. I'm gonna be hollering out there, so they'll be able to hear this squeaky voice.
And Dr. Warrick, she always comes to the games too. I know it's probably been messing with her because she ain't been able to go. They had a big picture, a blow up picture of her on the front row for us. So I don't know if you've seen that, but yeah, she was there even though she wasn't there. I promise you.
Are you a big sports fan, Dr. Warrick?
Oh yeah, I love basketball. So I love football too. You know, I'm a Texan, so we grew up.
All right, yeah.
With
I'm a Texan also.
So.
Yeah, Texas is nothing but football country.
Yeah, so we grew. I was in the band, so of course I knew football. And then, you know, my neighbor who I grew up with, I'm the oldest, so I'm kind of a tomboy. And my neighbor across the street was a guy named Willie Hodge. And Willie was the center of our high school basketball team. And we went to state, won the state championship that year. And then he was recruited to Duke. So when I went to Howard, that's when I started watching the ACC, because Willie was playing at Duke.
Oh, wow.
And then my other homeboy was Julius Whittier. He just passed. And he was the first African-American to play football at University of Texas. So I was watching UT on TV, and then I was watching Willie on in ACC. And so that's, you know, so it's very personal for me. You know, it makes a difference when you know the players.
Exactly.
Because, and then, you know, when you know them, then you learn the game. So I'm a real big fan.
Yeah, that's awesome. Which high school in Texas?
Sam Houston High School in San Antonio.
San Antonio. Okay.
Yeah. In fact, I think they just won something this past year. So we were the Cherokees. They had to change that. Now they're the Hurricanes. So I'm trying to recruit some Hurricanes and some other folk
How about the Stillman?
Yeah, to come to Stillman, because I think it's a great environment, especially for student athletes and young people, really, because you get to have, I think, different than one of your majority athletic programs.
Yes.
You don't really get the student college life in those programs. You are an athlete, and I really do think they ought to pay them, but yeah, because that's all they do, you know, and that's, you know, they go to school, but everything else is that sport. They're there to play that sport. But at Stillman and other small colleges like ours, you know, and HBCUs, you also have that the student experience, the HBCU experience. So you're not going to miss out on the parties and the Greek life and the other stuff. You get to participate in all of that. And so I think it just makes you a more well-rounded student, you know, and that's why they call it student athlete. You're a student first.
That's correct.
And the athletics, that's the extracurricular. So that means in addition to your schoolwork,
you can play.
You know, so I think it's a great environment for young people. And we have great people like Coach Teasley, because they care about the kids, you know, and we focus on the student. And that's what I tell, you know, my folks all the time. Well, let's do what's in the best interest of our students, and then we'll do what's in the best interest for the college. So it's all about the kids.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Stillman College has a very beautiful campus. Approximately how many On average, what's the student body count? Yeah.
Well, right now we're right under 800 students. We were really tracking to get 1,000 in the fall before COVID. So that kind of cut into our plans, but I think we'll get them back this fall, especially with the winning basketball team. And we've got some other great academic programs. We've got I think our baseball team is winning now. A softball team has been winning. So, and we're bringing volleyball back in a year. So I'm really excited about all of our sports and student athletes, but we have an awesome choir and an awesome band. So, it's a very well-rounded program. So we've got it all. It's just on a smaller scale. So you can really make friends for life.
That's outstanding. I'm really, it's very good to hear. What I hear from both of you, it gives you a very welcoming feeling that the students, that you all are both approachable to all students, and not just the coaching staff and administration from the presidents, from your staff on down, but faculty too. That's the impression that I get, that the students are able to come and have the one-off conversations if needed with whomever they need to throughout the college campus.
Yeah. Yeah, and if they don't, they send me a text or email, and then I make sure they do.
That's right.
Okay, so they have direct access to you. I like that.
They're the customer.
Yeah,
I like that. You're absolutely correct. A lot of times, even within corporations, people forget that your customers. Sometimes you have internal customers and external customers. Mm-hmm. And in this case, this is a school, so your customer, even though they're students, they're still customers.
Yeah. Well, their tuition and fees write my check, so I'm accountable to making sure they get the best that they can get at Stillman College. That's what they come there to get, a good education, and that's what they should get. I
like that. That is the right. I really like that approach and the logic theory behind that, because that's exactly what it is. I mean, yeah. Anything? Any closing remarks from you, Dr. Warrick, before we go?
Well, I just want to wish our Tigers a great game tomorrow. I'm excited that they made it this far, and it's supposed to snow in Kansas City tomorrow, so it's a little chilly up here, but I'm really excited for them, and especially for this year of COVID, to be able to overcome everything, have such a short season, and still be great enough to get to the round of 16. So that's really an accomplishment, and the only HBCU left in the NAIA tournament.
Oh, that's one. Before you make your comment, Coach, the team is doing something special tomorrow. They're doing some HBCU pride. What is the plan for the team in the game?
They have these patches on their back of their jersey, the Black Lives Matter patches. So they're going to wear those. They've been wearing them all year, and just to make it this far and be able to wear it out there on that floor, it really means a lot, especially like the year we've had, and it's just one of those things to just show their support and where they stand, and what really means a lot to them, and I'm grateful to have guys that really do the things that they believe in. That's one of the things that we want them to do. We want them to be able to stand up for what you believe in, and especially if it's for the right cause, and they're going to be doing that kind of thing, and I'm proud of them, and I think it's going to be very special.
Outstanding. Any closing remarks for you, Coach Teasley?
No, I'm just anxious. I probably won't sleep tonight. I'm ready. I wish we was tipping in a few minutes, but
I know.
But I'm just very proud of this group and everything that they accomplished, and and really just proud to be a part of, Stillman College. It's a great place. Dr. Warrick, I said this a long time ago. She's going to go down in history as the greatest president ever in my book because she gave me my shot. I was one of those guys that, worked so hard to get to where you are. And when you finally get your shot, and, so she's number one in my book. So, but
that's all right. That's all right.
Just to be able to work for her in the school and just represent Stillman, we're gonna do everything we can to represent Stillman College and everybody that supports us in a positive light, and we're gonna do our best.
That's outstanding. You have any pregame rituals that you or the team do?
No, but do have the wolf. All right, they're gonna be doing a little story. My little boy made this for the team. He couldn't come to the games, and so told me when he gave me this, he said, "Daddy," he said, "I can't come to the game, but this is me right beside you at the game." I said, "What was he?" He said, "This is for the team to win," and the team found out about it, so they make sure I bring it everywhere we go, and so the wolf, and everybody thinks it's superstition or whatever, but really is the wolf really represents all the people out there that support us. There's so many people out there that support Stillman, that support this team, and we're not just playing. It's bigger than basketball, and we love basketball and all, but really we're playing for all those people out there that really care about us, that really want us to be successful and really support us. So when we play every night, we know it's not just about us, and that's been our motto all year. Self, and it's not about us. And so that's what that really means to those guys. That's why it's so special to them. And for my little to understand what's us here, that's their that's our
He froze up.
that's our little risk.
The signal's going bad right when you got to the good stuff, Coach. Oh yeah, he's froze now.
Oh wow.
There we go. Yeah, you froze right on the good stuff, Coach.
Yeah.
But
I'm sorry.
That's all right. But we got the gist. I know the wolf is symbolic of they travel in packs, but they're strong.
Yeah.
So
that's right.
So I see. So you're representing the community and all those who back you. So that says a lot. So that's a whole pack of people. That's all a part of the Stillman Tiger Wolf Pack.
Yeah. And what is he wanted the tiger, but I think the little boy in front of him got the tiger, so he settled for the wolf. And I said, "It's okay." He said, I know the wolf's tough too, Daddy. He's tough
That's
too.
Right. I like his determination. I'm with him. Hey, I just want my daddy to have it.
Yeah. Well, hey, his name's Tiger though.
Hey, that's it. That's all that matters. We put it all together.
That's right.
I really appreciate both of you, Dr. Warrick and Coach Teasley, for joining me today. Much success to the team and the future of the college. Playing in the 83rd National NAIA National Championship. You're in round 16, and the goal is for you guys to bring back to Tuscaloosa that trophy.
Yes, sir.
So we're going to be rooting for you guys to make sure you bring that thing back home.
Thank you.
We appreciate it too for having me on. It means a lot to us.
All right. Make sure, Dr. Warrick, make sure that, get us some pictures once after the game, group pictures. We need to make sure we feature the guys, and, we'll be talking after we bring the championship home, Coach, and, put some things together.
All right.
Sure will.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in to Rolling Out's A Seat at the Table. Stay tuned. After this show, we have another show coming up with another person, Dion M. King, who will be joining us also in a conversation about diversity in corporate America. You've been tuned in today with Dr. Warrick, Cynthia Warrick, and Coach John Teasley of Stillman College. We thank you very much for your time, and you'll be safe and have fun while you're in Kansas City.
Thank you.
Thank
All right.
you.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.